Hello and welcome to The Homemade Songwriter. My name is Austin, and if you're just checking out our channel for the very first time, welcome. We are all about all things songwriting and music on this channel, and we got tons of videos to help you guys out if you're writers like us, with songwriting tips and tricks, writing videos where we just kind of get into that creative headspace and write songs together, albums and songs that we like that inspire us, and pretty much every type of content in between. So if you're anything like us and you love music or songwriting, please like and subscribe to this channel for more weekly content all about music. In today's video, I'm going to be taking a page out of Matt's book and taking on the 1 hour song challenge. Now the rules for this challenge are pretty simple, it's all in the name, but the idea is that you're supposed to write a song from start to finish in 60 minutes or less. No matter what happens, at the end of that 60-minute mark, what you got is what you got. Now if you've been following our channel for a little while, you may have seen Matt take on this challenge a couple of times in different videos that we've done before, but basically it's just an exercise that we use to try to shake loose some of those creative cobwebs when we're suffering from writer's block, or we want to actually finish and produce a song in one sit-down session, because sometimes operating under a deadline can help you accomplish those goals. So today I'm going to be doing just that. I'm going to try to write a song in 60 minutes or less. I hope it turns out well and I hope you enjoy. I'm going to try to talk through my creative process as I'm writing the song, so we'll see how this goes. Start this on the hour, so if I'm not done with this song, it's 5 p.m. right now, so if I don't get done by 6 p.m., I will have failed. All right, 1 hour starting right now. So I know kind of what I'm gonna try to write about today, which sort of puts me a little bit ahead of the curve here, but that's okay. But I saw this interview a while back between Matthew McConaughey and Russell Brand. And in it, Matthew McConaughey was basically just describing how one of his buddies, I guess, had said something to him about how right now, there's no better time to be an armadillo. And if you're from Texas, you know all about armadillos, but in case you're not familiar with armadillos, of course, they're like these little creatures that are sort of like rodents. They're kind of scaly and they roll up like a roly-poly bug and they have these like long tails. But anyway, they're everywhere here in Texas, and unfortunately, they sort of tend to be like nature's little speed bumps. They get out in the middle of the road and it's easy to like run over them, especially if you're just driving down like a back country road, farm road somewhere. So you see them all the time, and a lot of times you see them dead. But the point that Matthew McConaughey was making in this video was that there's no better time to be an armadillo because we're so divided right now as a people. And I've definitely seen this, or found this to be true recently. It just feels like we're more divided than ever. And so I kind of thought it'd be a funny idea for a song, just like a little bit of a lighthearted spin or lighthearted take on that situation. Basically just talking about how, because everybody's so far right or so far left, that they're basically off the sides of the roads. You know, their tires are on the side of the road. And meanwhile, the armadillos are just having a heyday because they got the roads to themselves. So they're right in the middle, which is where we could certainly strive to be more often than not. So I've kind of had this idea in my head for a little week, like a week or two, and I kind of have some lyrical ideas for at least the chorus, which is always a great place to start because I like starting with the chorus and then working towards that. So let's just kind of play around with that a little bit here. Why can't we all just be like armadillos? Seems to me they're most happy right in the middle. Pick a side, left and right. Don't you dare cross that line. No better time to be an armadillo. I like that melody for the chorus. I think the chorus is gonna be kind of simple, but in my head I have this idea of sort of starting it off like slow, and I'm gonna try to write it like in like a 3/4 time, or like sort of like a waltz, and like dun 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 for like the verses, and then I want to kind of speed it up in the middle, just jump right in to like this tempo. I think I'm gonna play it here because it just the chord shapes make more sense to me here. So. Why can't we all just be like armadillos? I think that's how it's gonna go. Why can't we all just be like armadillos? It seems to me they're most happy right in the middle. Instead we pick a side, left and right. Don't you dare cross that line. I'm just gonna write this down really quick. That yellow line. Don't you dare cross that yellow line. Don't you dare cross that line. And don't you dare cross that yellow line. Let's try it out. Instead we pick a side, left or right. And don't you dare cross that yellow line. Means there's no better time to be an armadillo. Yeah, I can't decide. I kind of like it. Maybe we'll just save that for like the last one. I'll sort of circle back to it on like the last chorus or something, throwing like that yellow line to draw it out. Yeah, so like I said, I've been kind of toying around with this idea for a little while now, and I just haven't really like sat down to write it. So I've kind of got this idea of how I think this is going to go, which makes it a perfect song for a 1-hour song challenge. I think so often we kind of get married to this idea, and in our heads it's like it's good enough that we don't want to write it for fear of not writing it as good as we want it to turn out. It's like this paradox of like the idea is so good that I don't want to write it because I'm afraid that I'm going to mess up what it could be a really good song simply by writing it. So this isn't exactly like that, but it is one of those ones that I've been toying around with a little bit and haven't had time to sit down and actually write it out. But in my head, that's kind of how the chorus is going to go. Just, why can't we all just be like armadillos? Seems to me they're most happy right in the middle. Instead we pick a side, left or right, and don't you dare cross that line. Think there's no better time to be an armadillo. And then, like I said, I kind of want to do a tempo change. I think I'm going to kind of do it like... Alright, so the thing is, I think if I'm going to write a song centering around how we need to be like armadillos, it's kind of funny because in reality, armadillos are like always getting hit by cars, but metaphorically speaking, of course, everybody's just so far apart right now. That's sort of the crux of the idea. So ironically, you know, it wouldn't necessarily be any better time than any time to be an armadillo in real life, but I just feel like to support the metaphor, I feel like it has to start with being in the car. Because you just have to set up this picture, you got to paint this picture, so I'm going to kind of play around with a little something here. I was driving down Highway 46. Let's see. I was driving down Highway 46. Much to my surprise, I had to swerve just to miss. I think I'm going to start with that lyrically. I was driving down Highway 46. But much to my surprise, I had to swerve. Oh, wait. I have an idea. Listening to the radio talk. Listening to the radio. Listening to the radio talk about all the things we need to fix. I was driving down Highway 46 just listening to the radio talk about all the things we need to fix. But much to my surprise, I had to swerve just to miss a little armadillo. A little armadillo crossing by, making his way across the pavement, asphalt, road, highway. What rhymes with miss? Let's see, we have a little armadillo making his way across the... Ooh, maybe just a little armadillo just to miss, a little armadillo just minding his own business. I think that's kind of funny. Much to my surprise, I had to swerve just to miss a little armadillo that. We're rolling with it. We're already 20 minutes in. We only got 40 minutes left. But that's okay. We're making really good progress already. So let's see. A little armadillo just minding his own business. Now see, that's the only tough thing about this is like you kind of get locked into this rhyme scheme where it's like I want to keep that same phrasing on the next one. It doesn't have to be the same rhyme, but I feel like when it's all 4 lines rhyme with the same word, I feel like you have to keep that going on verse 2. But anyway, so I think verse 2, kind of the idea that I have is like sort of that, to extend the metaphor, would be sort of like what Matthew McConaughey was talking about how we're so far left or right that we're like off the side of the road at this point. So let's see. So I think we're gonna go back for that verse 2. I think we're gonna go back to that slow kind of wind up so that it really punches you in the face in the chorus. So we're gonna go, because this is, you know, sort of like a campy song, so I sort of feel like it's okay to throw in like a little colloquialism or like some kind of a folklore element to it, or what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, you know, it's like good old boy advice, I guess. And so I was thinking about something about like, well, as any old Texan might say. And then I think the part of this that I want to like touch on in verse 2 is more about the, you know, the element of this whole idea, which is that if people are so far off to either side of the road, then, you know, there's plenty of space in the middle for the armadillos to be running around like crazy. Like they're not in danger at all. So, like something about running off to the side of the road, as any old Texan might say, like, if you're riding on the shoulder, if you're too far off the shoulder, too far off the shoulder, you'll never make. Too far off the shoulder, you'll never make it the whole way. That's what I'm going with. Seems like we're running. Na, 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 na. Even though we all know that riding on the side of the road, like you're liable to hit something that could pop your tire or you crash into a tree or whatever, it's like, you know, well, that's what we're doing. It seems like we're getting more and more like divided, more and more off to the side of the road every day. We got 30 minutes left, so I'm gonna go with that. Seems like we get more off track each and every day. But it seems like we get more off track each and every day. Armadillos all got room to rule the road and play. Well, as any old Texan might say, if you drive too far off the shoulder, you'll never make it the whole way. But it seems like we get more off track each and every day, and the armadillos all got room to rule the road and play. So then the chorus, why can't we all just be like armadillos? So I think I want a bridge for this song, and I've got time to write one, so I'm sitting at 23 minutes left. So I kind of want to keep it upbeat for the bridge. I've got 17 minutes left. We're all chasing the same things, but more and more it seems like we just can't agree. To share the road, we'd rather go off and hit a tree. That doesn't sound much like the American dream to me. I'm gonna start there and see how that sounds. Share the road, we'd rather go off and hit a tree. Yeah, I mean, I think that this has to end with that, right? This is like the song to do that with. Okay, so I think I'm gonna finish like 9 minutes early here, which is pretty great. I'm happy with this, and I don't just want to call it because it's like, you know, I've got everything that I needed to check off the list, but this one was one of those ones that I almost feel like the pressure, and I'm telling you that if you are like stuck on something and you just need like to like break loose that pressure a little bit, like a deadline can help you, because it's like, okay, I don't have time to sit here and think like, what's the most poignant word I could use? And the thing about it too is like, I always find that when I write songs like this, like in a time crunch or whatever, I can always come back and fine tune them later, but it's like, I almost feel like I walk away with a whole idea, which is really nice. So I think I'm gonna call this now 8 minutes early for this song. So I'm gonna play this song one time all the way through, and kind of see how it turned out. I think it's pretty funny, like kind of like a little simple song, which is always, you know, kind of a nice, refreshing little way. You don't always have to be like a deep, heartfelt heartbreak song. But, you know, what do you think? How do you like how this turned out? Did you have any questions about my process? You know, do you think there's something that I could have done differently? Feel free to let me know below. I promise you won't hurt my feelings unless you're intentionally trying to, in which case, why are you on YouTube? Here we go. Well, I was driving down Highway 46, listening to the radio talk about all the things we need to fix. But much to my surprise, I had to swerve just to miss a little armadillo just minding his own business. Why can't we all just be like armadillos? Seems to me they're most happy right in the middle. They would pick a side, left or right. Don't you dare cross that line. Oh, there's no better time to be an armadillo. Well, as any old Texan might say, why can't we all just be like armadillos? Seems to me they're most happy right in the middle. Instead we pick a side, left or right, and don't you dare cross that line. Oh, there's no better time to be an armadillo. Oh, we're all chasing the same. I'll just be like armadillos. Seems to me they're most happy right in the middle. Instead we pick a side, left or right, and don't you dare cross that line. There's no better time. There's no better time. Oh, there's no better time to be an armadillo. Alright guys, that's all for today. Thanks so much for checking out the video and riding along with me to write a song about armadillos, which is a topic that I never thought I'd write a song about. I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe found a little bit of inspiration or thought it was funny or helpful in some way. This is all we do on this channel. We talk about songwriting, we talk about how we do it, we talk about how we can stay inspired to do it, and so we'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe to this channel for more weekly content just like this. We love songwriting, we hope you do too, and our main goal is to help you do it better. So, you know, with that being said, we've actually come up with a resource for you. If you check out the link in the description of this video, we've put together a list of 30 free songwriting prompts to help jumpstart your creativity and get you writing again if you're suffering from writer's block. You don't have to be specifically suffering from writer's block if you like to use it. I mean, if you're just starting out and you need some fresh ideas or just a little bit of some kind of incentive to get that ball rolling, it's a great tool that we came up with to kind of help you guys do that. So we hope you check it out and download it below. Once again, my name is Austin. Thanks so much for checking out The Homemade Songwriter. Keep writing, and we'll see you in the next one.